Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. This is Waqas Iqbal from Tracks. Happy New Year, everyone. We are back on screen after many days, and we are lucky to have Dr. Athar Mansoor. Sir, Happy New Year to you. And today, our video is about the significance of goal settings. And as it is the beginning of New Year, so I think every individual, every professional need to set some goals. But before going to Dr. Athar, I would request you all to subscribe our channel so we can reach a broader audience. Sir, welcome to the show after a very long time. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Akas, and Happy New Year to you and Happy New Year to all the viewers.
Sir, can you please tell us what is the significance of goal settings in professional life and in personal life, as per your experience, as you have been across the world and have very rich exposure and experience?
I think a very good question at the beginning of this year. And I think, argue that without goals, there is no direction in life. Goals are extremely important because they give you the direction. They give you a sense of direction to work on. And then they also, if you set them through an elaborate and a dedicated process, then they give you the impetus and kind of the not just the direction, but kind of persistent effort towards achievement of that eventual objective which you want to achieve through goals. So it's about persistence, it's about direction, it's about motivation. So goals are something without which you won't get these three dimensions into your life, whether it's your personal life or it's your professional life. So if you want to persistently make an effort towards achievement of something, and that direction it needs to be given to that persistent effort, then I think goal setting or setting goals is an extremely important thing in one's
Uh,
life.
Dear viewers, before I go to the second question, please subscribe our channel so we can reach to a broader audience. Sir, as you have explained the significance of goals, I would like to have your opinion regarding the difference between desire and goals. Because if I look around myself, there are many people, they have goals, but I feel that they are their desires, because maybe the goals are time bound, but people are unable to differentiate. So can kindly please give your opinion.
I think desire is something with which some seriousness, the element of seriousness can be lacking. For example, you can desire of anything which can be realistically out of your range. For example, people thinking of, people not having any financial muscle or resources, but desiring to have a big car. So it can be a desire, right? It's something which can lack some seriousness of effort, and maybe you can completely lack an effort to get it. Whereas, contrary to that, goal is something with which you, in fact, attach some realism, you do some realistic analysis, and then you try to achieve it through some effort, rational, realistic effort within a time frame to get something out of it, whether it's some personal gain, whether it is a professional gain, or it can be in both the domains. So I think desires can be anything which can just pop into your head by looking at something, by seeing someone else, by comparing yourself to someone else, or maybe just out of the blue it comes to your head and it pops up there. Whereas goal, I think, is something which deliberately you work upon, and you deliberately set a direction for yourself, and then you make persistent effort with uh, threshold levels of motivation to achieve those goals, so that you can reap some dividends out of them in your personal and professional life. So I think this is my broader distinction between goals and desires.
Sir, how do you elaborate that the goal setting is uh, mandatory or effective only for organizations and individuals who are working maybe like managers, or it is for everyone?
I think, as I have just mentioned, that it can be in your personal domain as well as professional domain. So you can set personal goals for yourself. For example, within 2024, if you are suffering from obesity, you are overweight, and you know that being overweight can be harmful in terms of your health, in terms of your longevity, in terms of having adverse effects on your body and mind, and then you set for yourself a goal of reducing a particular amount of weight or mass from your body. So person might be 100 kgs, and an optimum weight of a person of his height might be 75 kg. So he might set for himself a goal of reducing 20 or 25 kilograms within 2024. So it can be personal goal for his own health, for his own well-being, for his own satisfaction and long run gains for his body and mind. Similarly, professional goals, as you talked about, that um, there can be goals in professional domains where you are working, and you are in organizational settings, and maybe you want to achieve something for yourself and your organization, where you are trying to align yourself with the organizational interest, and then achieving goals for yourself and for your organization, and then leading within the organization for some achievement of some goals also. So yeah, they can be in both domains. It's not necessarily that goals are just for organizations or just for persons. It can be in both domains, and that's the beauty of goals, that they, again, coming back to my initial point or argument, that they give you sense of direction, and you make persistently some effort with some threshold levels of motivation, so that you are able to achieve within a time frame given to yourself.
Sir, can you please recommend some goals for 2024?
Absolutely. I think my topmost recommendation would be understanding yourself. So, people who have incomplete understanding of themselves are unable to achieve their true potential. So, achieving your true potential requires that you must rather discover yourself completely. Uh, I would rephrase it. So it's maybe impossible to discover oneself completely, but discover yourself to the maximum, which means understanding your strengths, your weaknesses, what lifts you, what pulls you down, what raises your morale, what reduces your morale, how do you get motivated, what do you think people, how do people perceive about you, understanding that, and then how to respond to people's perceptions, and then how to lead people or lead teams by giving them a sense of direction. It all requires that you understand yourself first. So, my top recommendation would be knowing yourself, not just knowing yourself, but understanding yourself in depth, especially from the perspective of your highs and lows, what takes you to high, what takes you to low, and the factors which strengthen you, which can strengthen you further, and the factors which can hinder or hamper your progress towards achievement of something which you really want in life. So this is my top recommendation. Secondly, I think it's important to realize that um, uh, uh, we should not compare ourselves to someone else. So it should be one of it's my second recommendation as far as setting goal for 2024 is concerned, that you are in your own self a distinct human being. Just as your DNA is different from others, your genetic makeup is different from others, your emotional makeup is different from others. So you should be, the number of people on this planet are around 8 billion. So more than 7.5, 7.6 billion. If they are touching around 8 billion, they are different from each other. So this is the beauty of planet. So try to remain different. Diversity is the beauty of everything, even small classrooms in universities or colleges. They enjoy the diversity and the differences among people. So you should celebrate the differences amongst yourself and others, rather than starting to generally in this really socially connected world through social media, people start comparing each other by looking at each other's pictures, maybe by looking at each other's statuses, by looking at how people are, one is traveling to that part of the world and why I'm not traveling to that part of the world. So comparative analysis very quickly creeps in into our life, whether it's personal life or professional life. So I would suggest that we must refrain and restrain ourselves from comparing ourselves to others or comparing others to ourselves. We should have our own journey, which should be a very enjoyable, something which should delight you personally and professionally, your family members, your organizations, your peers, your friends, your network, your relatives, your loved ones. You should start enjoying their company and enjoy the lighter moments of life as well. So I think this is my second recommendation. So first was understanding yourself, second was stop comparing yourself to others, and third is um, try to make this world a better place. So becoming inspiration, trying to target something which should transform life around you, whether it's a very no matter it's a very small change around yourself. So people, when they think in terms of change, as it's a cliche saying that nothing is constant but change, but I would repeat it here, and I would urge my viewers to understand the real philosophy behind it, is that you should be inspiring some change around yourself, no matter how small that change is, even in your household, even in your community, your village, your city, your town, your organization. Think in terms of changing life, improving life around yourself. So I think these three, if you combine them together, you can be a wonderful human being. You can be a wonderful citizen of your own country. Rather, you can be a wonderful citizen of this whole planet. So the borders are meaningless today. We are virtually connected with each other throughout the globe. So why are we thinking in terms of frontiers or physical boundaries separating us? Why not become good citizens for the entire globe? So humanity needs people who can think in terms of positive changes. So try to bring those positive changes around yourself, so that when we leave the world, we leave it in a better shape.
Right, sir. You actually have given a recipe for the inner self change, I may say. But in the last, I would like to ask that goals have a relationship with leadership. Is there any
I,
interrelation between these two, leadership and goals?
I think yes, every person in himself or herself is a leader. Leaders are not only people who occupy just positions of political power or economic power or social power. So there are people at the household levels who are also leading something. So there is a hidden leader in every person. It's just understanding how to tickle that side of yourself. So goals are something which are related with, as I told you earlier, and I discussed. It's about direction. So leadership is also about direction. So there can be no leadership without direction. If leaders, whether they are in social domain, political domain, economic domain, business domain, whatever domains um, human lives are segregated into, I think goals are essentially part of leadership. A leader actually in fact sets that goal or vision in terms of we usually use the word vision for leaders. So that's a desired kind of state for future, but it can be abstract. That is why it is a desire, maybe. So it's a vision, but then it's translated into goals for followers. So translated into concrete, achievable, realistic, and time bound goals, so that people are able to see concretely what they have achieved over a time period through their persistent efforts. So I think yes, there is a strong relationship. Leadership cannot go without goals, and a person who set goals for himself or herself is a person who is trying to utilize some leadership capabilities or capacities in himself or herself.
So thank you so much for this enlightening comments regarding goal settings. Dear viewers, goal settings are very essential for everyone. You can give your feedback in the comments, and you can also suggest the topics which you want us to speak. Till next time, Allah Hafiz, take care.